Welcome to our channel, where we explore the incredible stories behind the machines that shaped history. Today, we're diving deep into the story of one of the most iconic aircraft of World War II, the Mitsubishi A6M Zero. This legendary fighter plane was the pride of the Imperial Japanese Navy and played a pivotal role in the Pacific theater. But what made the Zero so revolutionary? How did it dominate the skies in the early years of the war, and why did it eventually fall from grace? Over the next 30 minutes, we'll take a comprehensive look at the Zero's development, design, combat performance, and legacy. We'll also explore the stories of the pilots who flew it, the battles it fought, and the impact it had on aviation history. So, buckle up and join us on this journey through the skies of World War II. To understand the Mitsubishi A6M Zero, we need to go back to the late 1930s. At the time, the Imperial Japanese Navy was looking for a new fighter plane that could outperform anything in the skies. They needed an aircraft with exceptional range, speed, and maneuverability to support their expanding ambitions in the Pacific. The task of designing this plane fell to Jiro Horikoshi, a brilliant engineer at Mitsubishi. Horikoshi and his team faced a daunting challenge: how to create a lightweight, agile fighter without sacrificing firepower or range. The result was the A6M Zero, a plane that would redefine aerial combat. The Zero's development was driven by Japan's need for a carrier-based fighter that could operate over vast distances in the Pacific. The Navy's requirements were strict. The plane had to be fast, highly maneuverable, and capable of carrying a significant armament. Horikoshi's team worked tirelessly to meet these demands, and in 1939, the first prototype took to the skies. The Zero's performance exceeded all expectations, and it quickly became the backbone of Japan's Naval Air Force. The Zero's design was nothing short of revolutionary. It featured a lightweight aluminum alloy frame, which gave it an incredible power-to-weight ratio. The plane was powered by a Nakajima Sakai radial engine, which allowed it to reach speeds of up to 350 mph. But what truly set the Zero apart was its range. It could fly over 1,800 miles without refueling, a feat unmatched by any other fighter at the time. This made it ideal for long-range missions over the vast expanses of the Pacific. The Zero was also heavily armed for its size, with two 7.7mm machine guns and two 20mm cannons. These weapons gave it a significant advantage in dogfights, allowing it to take down enemy aircraft with ease. However, to achieve this lightweight design, engineers had to make compromises. The Zero lacked armor plating and self-sealing fuel tanks, making it vulnerable to enemy fire. These trade-offs would later prove to be its Achilles heel. Another key feature of the Zero was its exceptional maneuverability. Its lightweight construction and large control surfaces allowed it to outturn almost any Allied fighter in the early years of the war. This made it a deadly opponent in one-on-one dogfights, where agility often meant the difference between life and death. When the Zero entered service in 1940, it quickly became clear that this was no ordinary fighter plane. Its first major test came during the Second Sino-Japanese War, where it outperformed every Chinese and Allied aircraft it encountered. But it was during the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941 that the Zero truly made its mark. Zeros escorted Japanese bombers, providing air cover and engaging American fighters with devastating efficiency. Over the next year, the Zero dominated the skies in battles across the Pacific, from the Philippines to the Dutch East Indies. One of the Zero's most significant advantages was its range. Unlike Allied fighters, which often had to operate from distant bases, the Zero could accompany bombers on long-range missions, providing protection and ensuring air superiority. This allowed Japan to launch surprise attacks and maintain control over vast areas of the Pacific. The Zero's combination of speed, range, and maneuverability made it nearly unbeatable in one-on-one dogfights, and Allied pilots quickly learned to fear it. Stories of the Zero's invincibility spread, and it became a symbol of Japanese air power. However, as the war progressed, the Allies began to adapt, and the Zero's weaknesses started to show. The Zero's success wasn't just due to its design, it was also a result of innovative tactics and highly skilled pilots. Japanese aviators were trained to exploit the Zero's strengths, engaging in close-range dogfights where their superior maneuverability could shine. However, as the war progressed, Allied forces began to adapt. The introduction of new aircraft like the F-6F Hellcat and the P-51 Mustang, combined with tactics like the Thatch Weave, began to level the playing field. The Battle of Midway in 1942 marked a turning point. During this battle, the Zero's vulnerabilities were exposed, and Japan suffered devastating losses. The lack of armor and self-sealing fuel tanks made the Zero highly susceptible to enemy fire, and many experienced pilots were lost. From that point on, the Zero's dominance began to wane. Another key factor in the Zero's decline was the Allies' ability to produce superior aircraft in large numbers. While Japan struggled to replace its losses, the Allies were able to field newer, more advanced planes that outperformed the Zero in almost every way. By 1943, the Zero was no longer the unstoppable force it once was. By 1943, the Zero was no longer the unstoppable force it once was. Allied aircraft had caught up in terms of speed, firepower, and protection, and Japan's industrial capacity couldn't keep up with the demand for newer, more advanced planes. The Zero's lack of armor and self-sealing fuel tanks made it increasingly vulnerable to enemy fire, and its once legendary maneuverability was no longer enough to guarantee victory. Despite efforts to upgrade the Zero with more powerful engines and improved armament, it was clear that the era of the Zero's dominance was over. The Allies' superior numbers and technology began to take their toll, and Japan's once mighty air force was slowly but surely pushed back. By the end of the war, the Zero had become a symbol of Japan's desperation, as it was used in kamikaze attacks in a last-ditch effort to turn the tide of the war. Though the Zero's reign was relatively short-lived, its impact on aviation history cannot be overstated. It was a symbol of Japanese ingenuity and determination, and its design influenced fighter aircraft for decades to come. Today, the Zero is remembered as one of the most iconic aircraft of World War II, a testament to the rapid advancements in technology and tactics during the war. Surviving Zeros can be found in museums around the world, serving as a reminder of the plane's storied past and the pilots who flew it. The Zero's legacy lives on in the annals of aviation history, a testament to the ingenuity and determination of those who designed, built, and flew it. The Mitsubishi A6M Zero was more than just a fighter plane. It was a game-changer that redefined aerial combat. Its combination of speed, range, and maneuverability made it a fearsome opponent, but its lack of protection and Japan's dwindling resources ultimately led to its downfall. Today, the Zero is remembered as one of the most iconic aircraft of WWII, a symbol of both innovation and the harsh realities of war. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.